knockout.
Yes.
Yep.
So just because we're a little bit down on time, but the thing is, we've got 3 other massive fights that are going to occur on this card. You know, we've got Damian Maia versus Bilal Muhammad. We've got Paul Craig versus Jamal Hill. And then we've got Drew Dober against Brad Riddell. Just running through them more quickly, tell me your prediction for each.
Okay. If I'm going to say Damian Maia versus Bilal Muhammad, I want to say Bilal Muhammad because he's got something to prove and he's been rising up lately. Damian Maia hasn't really, he's a veteran, obviously. He's a very seasoned fighter. He's got probably one of the best pedigrees when it comes to grappling on the ground and on the ground. So if I believe that Bilal Muhammad, if he can keep him standing, he will probably win that one. Paul Craig versus Jamal Hill. I want to say Paul Craig because I feel like Paul Craig is coming to the end of his career. Oh, he's in his 30s, isn't he?
It's not the end of his career.
Well, end of his time in the UFC. I mean, he's been fighting for quite some time.
He's 33.
33.
Paul Craig.
Yeah, well, he's had an extensive extensive run in the UFC.
No, he hasn't.
Yeah, well, I believe that.
Started in 2016. That's not an extensive career.
Well, I mean, either way, he's had a lot of fights in the UFC. That's what I know for sure.
Beat Shogun twice.
Yeah.
He's gonna most likely submit Hill. He's gonna submit him. Anyway,
as I was saying, Paul Craig probably by decision, and then if I was to go Drew Dober versus Matt Riddle. Now Drew Dober, he's got 10 losses. His last loss was to Makachev. Riddle was supposed to fight someone else, wasn't he, because of the COVID situation?
Gregor Gillespie.
Yeah, that's right. So that's why so that one is a little bit of a weird area. I want to. Drew Dober's got more experience, but Brad Riddle, you know, he's got one of the best gyms behind him. He's got one of the best camps. So I'm going to go with Brad Riddle for that one. What about you?
For me, if we're Damian Maia versus Bilal Muhammad, I think Damian Maia doesn't really have a good striking base. He's mainly a jiu-jitsu player. Really, he's amazing on the ground. Absolutely incredible on the ground. I just feel that Bilal is, you know, up and coming. We talked about how the sport kind of evolves very quickly, and I think Bilal, he's really proving himself in the UFC. I think the main thing that Bilal that comes out to me is probably toughness as well as conditioning. He's incredibly conditioned. He's able to put out a huge amount of volume. I really think that Bilal will most likely take Maia to a decision. I think he'll just piece him up in terms of volume, be able to try and stuff Maia's takedowns. He'll just have to be really wary of Maia taking his back because that'll be incredibly difficult. Even Damian Maia even submitted Ben Askren, who's, you know, excellent on the ground, also in jiu-jitsu and wrestling. With Paul Craig versus Jamal Hill, really good fight that's been put on by the matchmakers, to be honest. Paul Craig being number 40 in the light heavyweight division, and Jamal Hill in number 15 in the light heavyweight division. So, yeah, this is excellent. I'm really looking forward to this fight. Obviously, you know, I come from a Scottish nationality, so I'm obviously going to go for Paul. There's a little bit of, not controversy, but a little bit of aggression in between them because apparently Hill has been a bit upset about the Scottish fans have been taking a little bit of the piss out of him. I think it's an American. Americans don't understand maybe the
Americans never get it.
They don't never understand the Northern European and kind of banter.
Yeah.
Right. They don't understand how they go like, oh, he's going to be. Like, they take it personally. They don't understand the banter or how they speak. And he'll actually put out a post saying, says, I'm going to like knock out Craig and I'm going to like stamp on your flag or whatever, right? Which we posted on our Instagram and they had a little discussion anyway. But Paul, I think Paul, anytime I ever see Paul on social media, he's always training. Yeah. He's always training. He's always running and doing. He loves his trap bar deadlifts and his what do you call it? His squats and his pull ups. He's always running. He's always doing aerobic conditioning. He has an excellent submission background in terms of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
He's a brown belt.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's very, very good on the ground. I think he's made a lot of big changes in terms of his striking. I think he's got a lot better. This is an excellent fight because Hill is 30 years old. Craig is 32. And I really think that...
33.
Sorry, 33, yes.
Check myself. Yes, he is
33. So
and his last loss was to Alonzo Menningfield, which was in 2019.
Yes. So I think Craig will submit Hill in the third round. I think Craig will submit Hill in the third round. With Drew Dober versus Brad Riddell, really interesting fight. I think this will most likely stay on the feet. This will most likely be a good thing for Brad, since coming from the kickboxing background and city kickboxing. Drew Dober, look, he just never really got started against Islam Makhachev. Makhachev was able to submit him with a head and arm choke, and that was basically just because Islam's volume was so high against Drew Dober. Drew was so tired, right? Usually the head arm choke, you can submit someone that way, but it's usually if you're in the correct position, which didn't actually occur with Islam.
He didn't from the half guard.
Yeah, he didn't really. He was from half guard. It wasn't from side control. So it was mainly because he was just so tired. I think Brad, he's got good cardio, really, really good on the feet. And it'll be interesting to see how Izzy and Brad go with their recent loss of their close teammate and friend, Fowl. So I'm looking for Brad to... I think Brad will win against Drew by decision. I think Brad will do very, very well and impose his will on the feet if it does take place there. And I think Riddell and Adesanya have done, and even Hooker as well, they've all done very good at improving themselves on the ground as well and in these scrambles. So I think Riddell win against Dober by decision. Excuse me, against decision. Craig will submit Hill in the third round, and Muhammad will